HTML style CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. CSS saves a lot of work. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. So, what is CSS? Cascading Style Sheets. CSS is used to format the layout of a web page. With CSS, you can control the color, font, the size of text, the spacing between elements, how elements are positioned and layout, what background images or background colors are to be used, different displays for different devices and screen sizes, and much more. So here we have a tip. The word cascading means that a style applied to a parent element will also apply to all children elements within the parent. So if you set the color of the body text to blue, all headings, paragraphs, and other text elements within the body will also get the same color unless you specify something else. So here we have using CSS. CSS can be added to HTML documents in three ways. Inline, by using the style attribute inside HTML elements. Internal, by using a style element in the head section. And finally, external, by using a link element to link an external CSS file. The most common way to add CSS is to keep the styles in external CSS files. However, in this tutorial we will use inline and internal styles because this is easier to demonstrate and easier for you to try it yourself. So we're going to start with inline CSS. An inline CSS is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. An inline CSS uses the style attribute of an HTML element. The following example sets the text color of the heading 1 element to blue and the text color of the paragraph element to red. So we're gonna open Visual Studio Code for this example. We're gonna go to the Visual Studio Code and we're gonna create an HTML file. I'm gonna name it test and the extension is gonna be .html. So press enter. Now I'm gonna press shift exclamation mark, press enter, and I have a template here. So I'm gonna grab this example, a heading in the paragraph, and I'm gonna place it inside of the body. So I'm gonna place it here. It's gonna be lines 11 and lines 13. So I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna go to my HTML file, right click, and open with live server. It might take a while. Okay, a blue heading and a red paragraph, as you can see. In line 11 we have a heading 1, we have the style attribute, equal sign, then we have inside double quotes color, colon, and then the color itself. It can be blue, it can be whatever you want, and if you mouse over it you can choose any color here that you would like. So we close the angle brackets of the star tag, that is the heading 1, and the text here is a blue heading. So we end the tag with angle brackets slash heading 1 or h1, and the same we do with the paragraph. So we open angle brackets, we have the p for paragraph, we have the style attribute, equal sign, we have the double quotes, we have color, colon, and then the color itself. In this case is going to be red. We close the angle brackets, and then we have the context. This is a red paragraph. So we close the close the tag here, open angle brackets slash p for paragraph, and that's what we get here. We're gonna close this. So internal CSS. An internal CSS is used to define a style for a single HTML page. An internal CSS is defined in the head section of an HTML page within a style element. The following example sets the text color of all the heading 1's element on that page to blue and the text color of all the paragraph elements to red. In addition, the page will be displayed with a powder blue background color. So in this case we have a style and we're gonna grab this. We're gonna grab until here, until style, and this is gonna be inside of the head, so it's gonna be here. Let's put it in lines 9 to lines 13. We're gonna have a style, and inside of our the style tag is gonna be inside of head, but the heading 1 and the paragraph are gonna be inside of the body. So we're gonna save it, and we're gonna go to our document, and you can see the background has changed because now we have a background color of powder blue. That is the color that we have here, and here we have the style. The body has a background color of powder blue. You can change it, you can mouse over it, you can grab, I don't know, maybe a little darker. We save it. We can go here to our page, and as you can see, it becomes a little darker. So now, and inside styles, we have the body, the heading 1, and the paragraph. For the heading 1, we open curly braces, color, column, and now we're choosing the color blue. For the paragraph, we open curly braces, color, column, and we use the color red. And then we have the end tag, that is gonna be angle brackets /style. So that is how we do it here. And for example, we can change it. We can, instead of blue, we can say, I don't know, maybe this color, kind of like a dark blue, and red. We can pick another one, kind of like a red, dark red. So let's see what happens. Okay, so that's what it is. Now we're gonna do external CSS. An external style sheet is used to define the style for many HTML pages. To use an external style sheet, add a link to it in the head section of each HTML page. So in this case, we're adding this link here inside of the head tag. What we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna delete this style. I'm gonna close it, and now I'm gonna grab this example. I'm gonna grab the link, and it's gonna be inside of the head section. So inside of the head section, now I'm gonna have a link. I'm gonna have the rel attribute, and if you mouse over it, it gives you some information. This attribute names a relationship of the link document to the current document. The attribute must be a space-separated list of the link type's value. So the rel is going to be equal to the open double quotes style sheet, and then we're going to have an href that is going to be assigned to a CSS file, and it's going to be named styles.css. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a CSS file. We're going to go here, new file, and we're going to name it styles.css. So we're going to name it, and we're going to have it here. Okay, so that is that. We have this example here. Okay, so the external style sheet can be written in any text editor. The file must not contain any HTML code and must be saved with a .css extension. As you can see here, we name it styles.css extension. So here is what the styles.css looks like. So we can grab it, and we can go to our CSS file that is empty right now. I'm gonna paste it here. I'm gonna save it, and here I have the body. We open curly braces, and we're gonna have the background hyphen color, and it's gonna be assigned to this color that is gonna be powder blue. The H1, okay, outside of the body, let's make it like this. Outside of the body, we're gonna have the heading 1, and we open curly braces, and the color colon is gonna be assigned to this color that is gonna be blue. And okay, outside of that, we're gonna have the paragraph, And the paragraph, we're gonna open curly braces, and the color is column is gonna be assigned to red. So it's already connected to it's already linked to our HTML file. So with this link, the link element allows authors to link their document to other resources. So let's see what happens. We go to our website, and this is how it looks like. So we can go to our CSS file, and now we have the body, the heading 1, and the paragraph. So right now we have the body, we open curly braces, we have the background hyphen color that is going to be assigned to this color that is going to be powder blue. Okay, so we're going to have the heading 1 open curly braces, and inside of the curly braces we're going to have the color colon is going to be assigned the color blue. And now we're going to have finally the paragraph open curly braces, and the color is going to be assigned to the color red. So we save it, and we go to our website, and let's see what happens. And as you can see, the background is powder blue, the heading is going to be blue, and the paragraph is going to be color red. So we can also change it from here, the color. Let's say, I don't know, maybe a little darker. I don't know, maybe grab this background. Okay, let's see, let's save it. Okay, the background has changed. So now we're gonna change the color of the text of the heading 1. Let's go something like, I don't know, kind of like a yellow thing. And finally for the paragraph, we're gonna go with more like, I don't know, maybe this color, kind of like a pink. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it has changed. The background color has changed. The heading 1 color has changed. And finally, the color of the paragraph has changed too. And when we go to our HTML file, as you can see in the H1 and the paragraph, we didn't put here styles because the CSS file is taking care of that. So that is that. Tip: with an external style sheet, you can change the look of an entire website by changing one file, so it comes in handy. CSS, colors, fonts, and sizes. Here we will demonstrate some commonly used CSS properties. You will learn more about them later. The CSS color property defines the text color to be used. The CSS font family property defines the font to be used. And the CSS font size property defines the text size to be used. So here in this example, use CSS color, font family, and font size properties. So here we have the style. We're gonna grab it. We're gonna grab here the style, and we're gonna go to our HTML file, and inside of head we're gonna paste that. Inside of head we're gonna paste the style. Okay, so inside of head we're gonna have the style property. Inside of the style we're gonna have the heading 1. We open curly braces, and then we're gonna have the color, and the color is gonna be blue, semicolon, and now we're gonna have the font hyphen family colon is gonna be Rodena, semicolon, and then we're gonna have the font hyphen size colon, and it's gonna be 300%. So we close the curly braces of the heading 1, and now we're gonna go to the paragraph P, open curly braces. We're gonna have the color colon, the color is gonna be red, semicolon. We have the font hyphen family colon is gonna be Courier, semicolon, and finally the font hyphen size colon is going to be to 160%, semicolon here, and that is what is going to be inside of the style tag, and the style tag is going to be inside of the head tag. So inside of the body we have the head 1, and we also have the paragraph, and the text is a blue heading and the paragraph a red paragraph. So we save it, and let's see what happens. And as you can see, we have a blue heading and a red paragraph, but the color, for example, of the heading 1 is blue, as you can see here, is blue. The font family is Verdena. It's Verdena, as you can see, the font family, and the size this time I put 300%, but let's say we put 30%, it's gonna get smaller right now. If we put, okay, you barely can see it, so let's go back to 300%. Okay, so for the paragraph it's the same, so the color is gonna be red. Okay, red. The font family is gonna be Courier, and the font size is gonna be 160%, so we can make it also 300. Let's say it's gonna be 300, and they are almost the same size, so that is that. So now we're gonna see CSS border. The CSS border property defines a border around an HTML element. Tip: you can define a border for nearly all HTML elements. So here we have use CSS border property, and okay, so we can grab this example and we can just go to our CSS file. Let me see, we can go to our CSS file and just below, see, let's paste it. Okay, so we're gonna see what happens. Okay, border 2 pixels blue. Okay, P, let's delete this. We're gonna have P. Oh, okay, I haven't linked it yet, so I'm gonna link it right now to our, I'm gonna link it with the link property. So it's gonna be like this. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, and this one is gonna be in the head. Okay, I'm gonna go here in line number 9, and as you can see, we have now a borderline. Okay, so what I did right now is in line number 9, I use the link tag, I use the rel style sheets, I use href, and we assign it to the name of the CSS file, and the name of my CSS file is styles.css, and my styles.css, I have the paragraph, open curly braces, I have the border, column, 2 pixels solid, and then the color powder blue. So I can, I don't know, maybe grab another, I can pick any other color, maybe, I don't know, this one, and I'm gonna save it, and you can see it has changed now, the borderline, and in this case it's 2 pixels, but if you want to make it bigger, let's say 20 pixels, we go here, and as you can see it gets bigger. So that's how you do it. Okay, so that is that. Now we have the CSS padding. The CSS padding property defines a padding, a space between the text and the border. So use the CSS border and padding properties. So in this case, I'm gonna grab this example, I'm gonna go to my CSS file, I'm gonna paste it here, I'm gonna save it, and again the CSS file is already linked to my HTML file and is linked through the line number 9. So I have the link, rel style sheets, and the most important is the href that is assigned the name of your CSS file. The name of my CSS file is styles.css. That is the reason that is linked. So now in my paragraph I have a border of 2 pixels solid powder blue, but I also have a padding of 30 pixels. So if I go to my website, so now we have a border of a padding of 30 pixels. Again, let's make it bigger. The border is gonna be now 20 pixels. Okay, it's getting bigger, and now the padding is gonna be, let's say, I don't know, it's gonna make it 100 pixels. The padding is gonna be 100 pixels, and as you can see, it has changed. So that's how you do that, the border and the padding. Now we're gonna go for CSS margin. The CSS margin property defines a margin space outside the border. So now we have CSS border and margin properties. Let's grab this example. Let's go to our CSS file, just paste it here, save it. Again, the border is 2 pixels solid and it's gonna be powder blue, but the margin now is gonna be 50 pixels. So let's see what happens. We go to our website and this is what happens here. Let's say you have, I don't know, 20 pixels for the border. Okay, it's gonna be, okay, it's gonna look like this. But now you're gonna have, I don't know, 100 for the margin pixel. For the margin, it's gonna be 100 pixels. So this is what happened. This is how it looks. I don't know, let's make it 5 pixels. Okay, so nothing much has changed, but that is that for the margin. Okay, so we have the margin. Now we have the link to external CSS. So external style sheets can be referenced with a full URL or with a path relative to the current web page. So in this example we have the link, we have the rel style sheet, and in this case we have the href, and then we have this URL that is going to be the https://www.w3schools.com/html/styles.css. So let's grab it, let's see what happens. And I'm gonna paste it, and I'm gonna paste it here. I'm gonna, instead in my line number 9, I'm gonna swap it, I'm gonna save it. Okay, I'm gonna go to my documents. Okay, and this is what happens. It went back to the previous colors that we were having, with the background as powder blue, the heading 1 as blue color, and the paragraph with red. So that is the example for that. The example links to a style sheet located in the HTML folder in the current website. So now we have this. Now we're gonna grab this example and we're gonna go to in my case, line number 9. I'm gonna paste it, I'm gonna save it. So I have a link. My rel is gonna be a style sheet again, and again, if you mouse over it, it tells you the information. The rel, these attribute names are a relationship of the link document to the current document. The attribute must be a space separated list of the link type's value. So the href is going to be a /html/styles.css. So right now I'm gonna, if I go to, okay, I already saved it. If I go to my website, nothing's gonna happen, so it's gonna just appear like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to hit new folder, and this folder is gonna be named HTML, and inside of this folder we're gonna move the styles.css. So right now we're gonna save it, and there you have it. So now it has changed, but why? Well, because in the h reference we have, first is gonna look for the folder name is HTML, so in this case is this folder HTML, and inside of the HTML is gonna be the file styles.css. So that's how we do it here. And we have here the 20, let's go to just 2 pixels. For example, right now, as you can see, is kind of like a bigger, it's 20 pixels the border. Let's go to 2 pixels, and as you can see, it has changed. So that's how you do it when you put your CSS file inside of a folder. So that is that for that example. Okay, now we have this example links to a style sheet located in the same folder as the current page. So this one is easier. We just grab this example, we go, in my case it's gonna be line number 9. So in this case, it's gonna be link rel style sheet. href is gonna be styles.css, and again, if you mouse over it, href, this attribute specifies the URL of the link resource. A URL can be absolute or relative. So I save it, and pretty much nothing is gonna happen. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go to my website, and nothing is gonna happen. Why? Because my style.css is not in the root. It's in a folder called HTML. So I'm gonna take it out of the folder HTML. Are you sure you want to move a style CSS into test? Yeah, sure. So I already move it, and I go right now to the website, and as you can see, it's working. So we can change something. I don't know, maybe let's go for 500. No, let's go for, instead of let's change the color. It's gonna be something like, I don't know, this color here. It's gonna be the RGB 230, 226, 176. So let's see what happened. And yeah, okay, so let's change, I don't know, 20. The border is gonna be 20 pixels. And okay, it has changed, as you can see. So that is that. This one is much easier. And yeah, I mean, we have the chapter summary. Use the HTML style attribute for inline styling. Use the HTML style element to define internal CSS. We use the HTML link element to refer to an external CSS file. The head element to store style and link elements. The CSS color property for text colors. The CSS font family property for text fonts. The CSS font size property for text sizes. CSS border property for borders. The CSS padding property for space inside the border. And finally, the CSS margin property for space outside the border. And finally, we have the HTML style tags. So we have the style tag that defines the style information for an HTML document, and we also have the link tag that defines a link between a document and an external resource.